morning! How's everybody doing out there today? We're going to talk about how to keep your recordings from sounding amateur. Now, in this day and age, with everybody having access to recording technology, one of the things that has really flooded into, well, basically everywhere, is this sort of strange mediocrity. And what we're going to do today is we're going to give you some tips to help keep your music from falling into those traps where it sounds amateur. And one of the first things we're going to talk about today is overall recording quality. The first thing I hear in a record that makes me go, oh, that was done in somebody's bedroom, is the drums. The first is the drum set that sounds like it's covered up and rolled up in a carpet. There's a whole litany of things that can go wrong with a drum recording. And usually people are egregiously guilty of all of them. Wrong mics, not enough inputs, bad mic placement, not knowing how to mix them once they've got them in. They didn't listen to their sounds on the way in. Bad editing. Out of time drums is a big one. Come on, time-based editing's been a thing for 20 years. Well, actually more than that. Used to actually cut the tape and do splices to get drum tracks to go the way we want them to. Samples. The old days, you would sample and someone would actually play it in off of a drum machine, or even more wildly, after the drummer had left the studio, a tech would go in, mic the snare drum, and just lay down, hitting that snare on the same hits as the actual player. Player comes back, oh, these drums sound great, what did you do? And the engineer will turn to him and go, oh, a little bit of compression. Same thing would happen with bass players. Bass player leaves the studio, the sessions guy shows up and re-records it for him. Comes back the next day, what'd you do? A little bit of EQ and some compression. The next piece is the bass. An overly fluffy low end. That screams, I mixed these in my headphones, or worse yet, earbuds. There's nothing wrong with mixing on headphones if you have the right tools for the job and you're aware of what you're doing. There are some great mixers out there that mix on headphones, but they are the exception, not the rule. You're not another Andrew Sheps. Sorry, I'm not, for sure. And I've been doing this a long time. I can't mix for beans through headphones. Vocals dipped too deep into the mix that you can't hear intelligibility. That is a sign of inexperience and a bad mixer. It's okay, we all have done it. It can also be a trick that the mixer will use to hide a bad vocal performance. So that also comes back to get it right at capture. Have a great, compelling vocal take that you don't feel bad about being pushed up over the mix where it belongs. Punk rock can be extremely charming, raw, and out of control, and actually kind of gross. There's something vibey about that. But there's a difference between it just sounding like trash and you trying to capture a deliberate vibe. Same thing with country music. There's certain types of country music and jazz that recording live in the room sounds right. Like that Chris Stapleton sort of vibe, or a good jazz band. There's something to be said about that sort of rawness. There's a fine line. Do you sound like a garage band? Is your drummer doing the same fill on the toms? With no breaks, no stops, no nothing, and a song that just keeps droning on and on and on and on and on and on. Be compelling. If you're not ready to get out of the garage, then by all means, don't make people who aren't in your garage listen to it. Take the time. You can do it. This is not me being a pretentious ass. This is me saying, what can we do to fix this? What can we do to do better? Because I want all of you to do the very, very best that you can and make the very best music that you can and show it off to everyone who will listen. Anyways, I hope you're all having a wonderful day. I'm Greg, and remember, I'm not rich. I'm not famous. I don't know everything, but it's been a hell of a ride. We'll catch you out there.